Today's video is sponsored by OUPES. Stick around later in the video to see how you can get entered to win a 2,000 watt power station. Okay, there we go. Oops, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to get them on you. All right, that's my boy. Let's tell him the story. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope y'all are doing great today. I'm gonna share a story. This is a campground story. But this campground is, we usually don't stay in campgrounds like this, where it's close together. Speaking of, this is Turtle Rock Campground. It's a free campground, except next year they're starting to charge here. So this is the last season where this campground is going to be free. When we're in an area like this where there's people that are close by, you know, I do everything I can to keep Lefty quiet. He's pretty good. You know, it takes several days, and then he always starts to claim the area. And then anyone that comes near, see, like he's doing it right now, there's a woman walking over there. And he's, you know, he's not going at it, barking, but he's been known to do that. So I always keep him quiet as much as I can, because I'm not trying to bother other people. And then especially, you know, not everybody is a dog person. And this story that I'm going to share, we ran into a couple of people that I would say are not dog people. So we've been walking, doing our hikes outside of the campground. Obviously, we have to walk through the campground to get into the trails and such. The way that these campsites are set up, many of them, the campsite, you know, there's the place where you park, and then there's a fire ring, and then it just ends, and it kind of bleeds out into, you know, the forest. So where does the campsite end, and where does the forest start? You know, I guess that's subjective. It's up to interpretation, really. So knowing that, when we're hiking, there's some bicycle trails around and hiking trails, and they kind of weave their way through the rocks and all that. And so we were following one of them up here, kind of off to the side of the big Turtle Rock, and just following this little hiking trail up through the rocks. And we came up a little rise. Then I could see campsites. I knew exactly where we were, and I knew that we were going to be coming up to campsites. So this trail just came up this little rise and then went back down out away from the camp area. We were walking through this little trail right here. And so this area, so let me stop right here and show you. So there's a camp here, there's a camp here, and you know, the sites, I don't know, how far do they go? And then there's just open country back here. So there's walking trails all around through this area, through these rocks. Sorry, I'm catching my breath. We were just scuttling through here. So Lefty and I came up pretty much right on this trail we're on right here. And we were turning down this way. You see the trail cut between these two trees. And this is where the guy from this site right here came out and started talking to me. And then his buddy was in this site here. So from me to the road, it's 75 feet, 100 feet from where I am up to the road. So you know, where do the sites end? Like this site here, you can see the fire ring is right there. Then all this land, you know, so where does the site end and the property out here, the free property starts? I don't know. But I don't think, because as we came out of here, I saw people's gear at these sites. So I turned and started going back down this direction, because I don't walk up in people's campsites, even getting close to them, because, you know, I've had people walk right through our campsite before. I mean, literally, I've had people walk between my chair and the rig before, just walking along, and yes, it is public land, but that's just kind of like common courtesy, and so I just try not to get close to people's campsites. I'm more comfortable that way. I don't want to bother anybody. I walked back over there after these people had left, and I wanted to give you all some context on like what I'm talking about and how far we were from the campground, the campsite. You know, there's the fire ring, and then there's a little more space, and then from there, we're 60 feet away when we came up this little rise. When we did, you know, Lefty stopped, so I'm just standing there. It was 8:30 in the morning, and I'm just standing there, and he's sniffing and sniffing and sniffing, and this guy, I hear someone talking kind of loud, and a guy came from, there were two campsites, the one that we were really behind and then the one next to it. And a guy was coming towards me, and he'd said something, and I couldn't hear what he said. So I said, I'm sorry, what's that? And he said, you're not going to let your dog come back here and crap in my yard. And I said, no, we're all set. He said, okay. And then he turned around and went, you know, back past his fire ring, past the picnic table, and back up by his car. And so I was, you know, it's like not a big deal, right? In comparison, you know, this area that we're in, this is kind of a road, a loop here. So there's a bunch of, you know, campsites kind of around this loop, and the center area is just a common, you know, wide open kind of forest area. So when Lefty was having trouble with his paw or his leg recently, I wasn't walking him like out on the gravel road. I was just walking him in this common area back here, because it's pretty level and it's dirt. It's not gravel like the roads out here. So I was, you know, going around this area back here and talked with a couple that came over here, talked with another gentleman that was next to them, talked with another gentleman that was next to them, talked with another one that's on the other side of the loop. So I, you know, was pretty much on good terms with everybody around in this area back here. Nobody had anything to say. Everybody wanted to, you know, pet the dog, pet Lefty. Really nice folks around. And after that guy said that, we continued on that hiking trail, you know, which took us back out in the rocks and all that. And we came out up by the big rock up there, and then down onto the roadway kind of. And so we kind of did a loop and came out around, just up around the bend from their campsites, from where their cars were parked. And as we came around, and this is why I wanted to tell the story, because this was funny, this part. So as we came out around, looped around and came back out on the road, the guy that had spoken to us, he walked over to the other dude that was next to him and said, I couldn't hear every word, but he said, I chased away the guy that was going to let the dog shit back there. And the other guy's like, yeah, I saw that. So he was proud that he had run us away that I was going to let Lefty bear up and do that right outside of his campsite. It was fun. You know, obviously, if Lefty had bared up and, you know, because you can never control when the dog is going to decide to do that. If he had decided to, we were nowhere, you know, again, I think we were 60 feet from what I would consider the farthest back edge of their campsite. I would have cleaned it up, you know. I had bags on me, and but, you know, I knew Lefty was done. You know, he's kind of a one session and then it's over. So, you know, as soon as we came up that rise and I saw through the trees, I saw the campsites, I was already looking to go the other way. Like, and if Lefty hadn't have stopped and started sniffing, I would have already turned and taken us back down the other way. Something I've always said is when you're out camping, you run into all different kinds of people. You're blocking the camera, brother. Hey, meathead. Oh, good boy. Okay. Today on this segment of Fleet Gear, we're going to look at a new piece of kit from one of our favorite vendors, OUPES. This is their newest piece of gear in their Mega series. This is the Mega 1. So the Mega 1 is a 2,000 watt power station, 1,024 watt hours. For a 2,000 watt power station, the pricing that they have on this is awesome. It's launching on September 10th at a price of $499. That's $200 off. And between now and the 9th, if you want to get another $50 off, they're selling a $50 coupons for $1. So what that means is on September 10th, when these get launched, $449 for a 2,000 watt power station. I've got an update on that pricing. I have a 5% off discount code for all of you, which brings the final price down to $426. $426 for a 2,000 watt power station. Good job, OUPES. Regular viewers of the channel, you know the OUPES brand. They've shown us a lot of their gear. They've provided gear for giveaways, and this is no different. I'm going to be giving this away to one of you. This is a brand new unit. It comes with 3 different power cables. You've got the plug-in charge cable. You've got DC 12 volt. You can plug it into your cigarette lighter. And then you've got an MC4 connection, so you can plug in a solar panel right to this cable, plug it in for charging. So they've given you cables to charge in 3 different ways. So like their other Mega series, this has the expansion port here, so you can plug in one of their expansion batteries and give this thing a big boost in power. It's got a nice large readout screen here. You've got a 12 volt cigarette lighter style, 2 12 volt barrel plugs, 4 AC outlets, 20 amp. You've got USB-C and USB-A, 2 Cs and 4A. And the 4As are Quick Charge 3.0. On the right side panel, you've got your Anderson plug here. And I know some people gripe about me calling it an Anderson plug. It's a power plug. You've got your AC plug here, and then you've got a reset button in case there's an issue. This can be controlled with the OUPES app on your phone, both Android and iOS. They've got a QR code right on here. You shoot that, and you can download the app and get it installed so you can monitor the operation right from your phone or your tablet. Now the specs on this, 3,500 charge cycles. It has a 3-year warranty and 100% charging in 60 minutes. So it's got a fast charger built right into it. 800 watt solar input. So you can have 800 watts of panels charging this. One thing that really struck me on this is it's not big, bulky, and heavy. It's just under 28 pounds. And this does have the UPS battery backup feature, 0.2 milliseconds, switch over. So you can run your medical device off of here, and if there's a power outage, it'll flip over to this and keep your device running. So really great power specs in a mid-size form factor. And for the price, $449 on launch day on September 10th, I don't think that can be beat. If you want to enter to win this OUPES Mega 1, use the keyword OUPES down in the comments, OUPES. Put that in your comment. or just the word oops, and you'll be entered to win. We're going to do the drawing on this on September 8th. So make sure you get your comment put down there with the word oops in it so you can be entered for the giveaway. Really great unit, brand new to market, and thank you again, OUPES, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to the action. There's people that are coming out for 2, 3, 4 days. They're typically looking to pack as much activity into the days that they can. And I used to be that. I used to go camping with the family back in the day. And, you know, it was get down there, get everything unpacked, get set up, go into town, you know, doing all this stuff and not really having any time sitting around. And so you have those kind of folks that are out here. And then you have people that are, you know, that are out on the road permanently, and they're typically, a lot of them are pretty laid back, and, you know, they've seen and been through a lot of different situations, and they're always, you know, pretty cool and down to earth. You know, most of the people that we run across out camped and on the road are really good folks. You know, you can pretty much always, if you pull into a place like this, you can pretty much go and talk to your neighbor. The guy that was here next to us when we first took this spot, he was a really nice guy. He left after several days, and then another dude came in and parked over here. Really nice guy. He's the one that him and I rode our bikes into town, and he carried my water jug back for me on the basket of his Honda. Really nice. So most of the people are really good folks and people that I'm really comfortable around. And then some folks, and I always look at it like, I don't know what their situation is in life, and I don't know, okay, am I in your way? So I get, you know, like I give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, like I wasn't going to fire off back at this guy because I don't know, maybe he's had bad experiences with dogs, or I always diffuse and walk away. You know, and there've been a couple of instances where I've gotten agitated at people, and, you know, I notice that it's always been when it's something having to do with Lefty. I get really protective of him, and, you know, and to be honest, when this guy said that to me, I could feel it, that I was about to, you know, say something not nice, and I reeled myself in, and I just said, no, we're all set, and just turned and walked the other way, you know. But I could feel it, that I almost snapped back at the guy. And, you know, I've shared stories like this in the past where we've had kind of butted heads with people at different campsites and areas we've been. And some of you will be like, man, I would have been way more argumentative than you were. And, you know, sometimes I have, you know, gone back at him a little bit, but you know, I'm not trying to cause any stress in everyone's life, especially not mine, and so I always tend to kind of diffuse whatever's going on, because I'd like to have good relations with everyone that's, you know, basically our neighbors for the time that we're here. So I just wanted to share this with you. And I did want to also share, like I said, about this campground turning into a fee campground. It is a nice place. Would I pay? I don't know what they charge for a campground like this. I don't think I would come and pay. I don't like paying. You know, there's a lot of areas that you can camp for free. And, you know, for example, right on this road, there's pull-off camp spots that are free, and I'm pretty sure are going to stay free. You know, there is a pit toilet here at this campground. There's a camp host. It's a pretty well developed campground. There's no electricity, no water, so it's still primitive camping except with a toilet. So I hope you enjoyed this fleet fable. Just some of the things that happen when we're out on the road. Not so unusual. I could see the same thing happening, you know, back where we lived in the house. If I was cutting through somebody's yard, or which I didn't really do that, but I could see somebody not wanting a dog to crap in their yard, and I would be that same person, you know. I was super proud of my yard and my grass and all that, and I didn't want some dog encroaching on that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the story. Everyone take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. It's time for his midday nap, I guess.